For the knowledgeable, the scholars, al-alimin. We also find in Surah Fatir, the 35th chapter, verses 27 and 28, أَلَمْ تَرَ أَنَّ اللَّهَ أَنزَلَ مِنَ السَّمَاءِ مَاءً فَأَخْرَجْنَا بِهِ ثَمَرَاتٍ مُخْتَلِفًا أَلْوَانُهَا. Can you not see that Allah sends down rain from the sky, and I produce from it fruit of various colors? وَمِنَ الْجِبَالِ جُدَدٌ بِيضٌ وَحُمَرٌ مُخْتَلِفٌ أَلْوَانُهَا وَغَرَابِيبُ سُودٌ. And from the mountains, red and white streaks of various colors and jet black. وَمِنَ النَّاسِ وَالدَّوَابِّ وَالْأَنْعَامِ مُخْتَلِفٌ أَلْوَانُهُ كَذَلِكَ. And likewise, among people, animals, and cattle, there is a variation in color. إِنَّمَا يَخْشَى اللَّهَ مِنْ عِبَادِهِ الْعُلَمَاءِ إِنَّ اللَّهَ عَزِيزٌ غَفُورٌ. It is only the scholars, the knowledgeable, those who know among His slaves who truly fear Allah. Indeed, Allah is Almighty and oft forgiving. So in these verses, as I said, Allah points out these variations in colors as existing in the mountains. When you look at the colors of the rocks of the mountains, there are various streaks of colors in there, sometimes reddish, sometimes whitish, and sometimes jet black. And in the same time, we also find this kind of variation where among people, among animals, and among cattle. We don't make special distinctions among the cattle and the animals because of their colors. No, we look at their characteristics and their qualities, not their colors. We may favor one color over another color, but we don't inherently say that white cats are better than black cats. No. That's something which varies from place to place, people to people, etc., in preference. So Allah puts it on the same level. It is nothing to be proud of. In fact, it is all from the greatness of Allah's creation. As He said, He is the Almighty, capable of doing whatever He wishes, creating similarities like this among people, among all aspects of His creation, even in the beetles, in the insects, in all the various ranges of creation, we find these color differences. So this is not an issue for which people should take positions of superiority. Then if we look after that, because for Muslims again, for us to understand what is the position of Islam, we shift from there to what the Prophet ﷺ had to say concerning these matters of color, etc. And what we find is some very clear statements of the Prophet ﷺ, in which he, for example, on the farewell pilgrimage, he states in no uncertain terms that there is no superiority of an Arab over a non-Arab, or of a black over a white, or a white over a black. Indeed, the superiority lies only in the fearing of God. This is where superiority lies. And the Prophet ﷺ also instructed people, saying, with regards to their ancestry, let people stop boasting about their ancestors. One is only a pious believer or a miserable sinner. All men are sons of Adam, and Adam came from dust. That's the bottom line. All human beings have a common origin. Also, we find the Prophet ﷺ talking about the pride which people may take in their ancestry or their race, etc. And he said, whoever has pride in his heart equal to the weight of an atom will not enter paradise. Whoever has pride in his heart, in his or her heart, equal to an atom, in some narrations a mustard seed, will not enter paradise. That is a very forceful statement. And furthermore, what we find as another supportive verse from the Quran, we find the famous verse in Surah Al-Hujurat, verse 13, wherein Allah lays down the criterion for superiority, which was mentioned in some of the statements of the Prophet ﷺ. Allah said there, Ya ayyuhan nas, inna khalaqnakum min dhakarin wa untha, وجعلناكم شعوبا وقبائل لتعارفوا إن أكرمكم عندكم إن الله عليم خبير. O humankind, most certainly it is I who have created you all from a single pair of male and female, and it is I who have made you into nations and tribes, that you may recognize each other, not despise each other. Indeed, the noblest of you in the sight of Allah is he who is most pious. Indeed, Allah is all-knowing, all-aware. So Allah here gave the criterion of piety as the means of superiority. That any other claim to superiority, which is based on color, family, tribe, etc., is rejected. As the Prophet ﷺ said regarding nationalistic and tribalistic calls to rally, for people to rally under this call, he said, Da'ha fa innaha muntina. Give it up, leave it, because it is rotten. He said, Man da'a ila al-asabiyya falaysa minna. Whoever calls to nationalism, to tribalism, is not of us. Not a true Muslim, not a follower of the message of Islam. So, when we look at that verse, which forms the basis of what Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said regarding issues of race and tribe, etc., we see that Allah addresses in this verse all of humankind. It's not restricted only to the believers. He says, Ya ayyuhan nas. So this is a statement clarifying for humankind as a whole. With regards to Muslims and the brotherhood of Muslims, that's what they're known. Allah said elsewhere, Innamal mu'minuna ikhwa. The believers are one brotherhood. But this goes beyond the issue of belief. It goes to the realities of humankind. So Allah says there, O people, O humankind. And then He addresses their origin, to bring them back down to the common reality. We're all from one parent. And modern anthropology supports this. It identifies, to what degree we can say it is accurate, it identifies the common origin of humankind to a woman in West Africa and to a male in East Africa. Genetically, those who study the science of anthropology through genetics, etc., this is what they have concluded. And there are many programs which have been produced on it showing how people came from there and spread over the rest of the world. So this is the fact of the matter. And furthermore, when we even look at the issues of race and distinction that people try to make with race, what we find is that Allah has left in our midst a sign to us that we are in fact one regardless of what we look like on the outside.